It's 11:47 p.m. You're staring at your phone. You planned to sleep at 10. You didn't. Tomorrow you'll wake up tired again. And somehow you'll still call this a normal day. That's the problem. Because what you think is normal is quietly destroying your ability to focus, to learn, to actually move forward. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way you notice, but in a slow, almost invisible leak of attention every single day. And the worst part? You're probably doing everything you were told to do. Wake up, study, work hard, stay consistent. But something still feels off, like you're putting in effort but not getting results that match it. That feeling isn't random. It has a structure. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start with something simple. What does your day actually look like? Not the ideal version, the real one. You wake up, check your phone, just for a minute. That minute becomes 10. Now you're rushing. Classes, lectures, assignments. Somewhere in between, you try to study, but your mind feels scattered. You sit down, open your book, and suddenly, everything feels harder than it should. You reread the same paragraph. You forget what you just studied. You get distracted. Again. So you switch. Maybe later. But later never really comes. By the end of the day, you're exhausted. But if someone asked what you actually got done, you'd pause. This isn't laziness, and it's not lack of discipline. It's something else, something more mechanical, almost mathematical. Your brain doesn't treat all hours equally. That's the first illusion. You think you have 24 usable hours. You don't. You have maybe 4 to 6 hours of real, high-quality focus. That's it. The rest? Low-grade functioning. Good for scrolling, bad for thinking. And here's where everything breaks. Most students spend their best hours on the wrong things, and their worst hours on the things that actually matter. It's upside down. There's a window in your day, roughly 2 to 4 hours after you wake up. That's when your brain is sharpest, memory is stronger, focus is deeper, understanding feels easier. And what do most people do in that window? They waste it, not intentionally, but consistently. Notifications, social media, random conversations, noise. By the time you finally sit down to study, that peak is gone. Now you're working with leftovers, and then you blame yourself. Here's the uncomfortable math. Let's say you study 5 hours a day. Sounds good. But reality looks like this. 2 hours, distracted. 1 hour, low energy. 1 hour, switching between tasks. And maybe 1 hour of actual focus. That's 20%. The rest just feels like work. Now stretch that across a week. 35 hours of studying. Only 7 hours actually count. You're not behind because you're not trying. You're behind because most of your effort is diluted. And it gets worse, because your brain is always learning. Every time you sit down to study and fail to focus, your brain records that pattern. Not the subject, the experience. Studying equals frustration. Studying equals distraction. Studying equals failure. So next time, resistance increases, a little, then more, then a lot, until opening a book feels heavier than it should. That's not motivation, that's conditioning. And here's the irony. The harder you try to fix this by pushing more, the worse it gets. You add more hours, more pressure, more guilt, but the system stays broken. So the same problem just runs longer. It's like pressing the accelerator in a car with a flat tire. You're moving, but not going anywhere efficiently. Let's zoom in. Your day isn't failing because of what you do, it's failing because of when you do it. Timing is everything. Your brain runs in cycles. Focus rises, peaks, drops, then recovers. But your schedule ignores all of it. You treat 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. like they're equal. They're not. At 9 a.m., your brain can do deep work. At 9 p.m., it's just trying to survive. And yet, most people scroll in the morning and try to study at night. That's backwards. Now something more subtle. Context switching. Every time you switch tasks, your brain doesn't reset instantly. Part of your attention stays stuck behind. So when you come back, you're not fully there. Now multiply that across a day. You're never fully focused, just partially present, everywhere. It feels busy, but produces almost nothing. Imagine your focus like a glass of water. Every distraction spills a little. By the end of the day, you're trying to study with drops. Now the biggest lie: I'll do it later. Later is not a time. It's a trap, because later always comes with less energy, more fatigue, more resistance. You're not delaying the task, you're lowering your ability to do it. So when you finally sit down, it feels harder, which makes you delay again, and the cycle continues. There's also this illusion where planning feels like progress. Timetables, to-do lists, perfect schedules. It looks productive, but nothing moves, because execution happens in moments, and those moments are being wasted. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Your day is not random. It's engineered by your habits, your environment, your small, unnoticed decisions. The moment you wake up and check your phone, you've already shaped your focus. You told your brain, we're consuming today, not creating. And your brain adapts. So what does a correct day look like? Not perfect, just aligned. You wake up. No noise, no input. Let your brain stay clean. Then, during your peak window, you do the hardest thing, the thing that actually matters. You protect that time. No switching, no multitasking, just one direction. Later, when your energy drops, that's when you allow lighter work, scrolling, messages, easy tasks. You match the task to your state. That's the shift. But here's the catch. This sounds simple. It's not easy. Because your current system is addictive. It rewards distraction, quick dopamine, easy stimulation. Deep work doesn't give that immediately, so your brain resists. It prefers familiar, even if familiar isn't working. And this is where most people quit. Not because it fails, but because it feels uncomfortable. Silence feels boring. Focus feels heavy. Progress feels slow. But that's exactly why it works. Because almost no one stays there long enough. What happens if you don't fix this? Not tomorrow, not next week, but over years. You build a habit of shallow work. Your attention span shrinks. Your ability to handle difficulty weakens. You start avoiding complexity, choosing easier paths. Not because you can't do hard things, but because your brain was trained not to. And slowly, your potential compresses. Quietly. From the outside, everything looks fine. You're busy, you're studying, you're trying. But inside, there's a gap between what you could do and what you're actually doing. And that gap keeps growing. So the real question isn't, are you working hard? It's sharper than that. Are you using your best hours on what actually matters? Or are you spending them on things that just feel urgent? Because if your peak energy is wasted, no extra hours will fix it. And once you see this, you start noticing it everywhere. People who look disciplined often just have better timing. People who struggle often just have misaligned days. Same effort, different structure. So tomorrow, don't change everything. Don't chase extreme routines. Just one shift. Protect your first high-energy window, use it properly, and watch what changes. Because if 1 hour of real focus can beat 5 hours of distraction, then the real question isn't how much time you have. It's how much of it is actually real. And if most of your day isn't, what exactly are you building with it?